Title: Evil Lives Here. A story by Isabel. In the heart of a quiet village in southeastern Nigeria, where the trees are older than memory, and the air carries the weight of forgotten whispers, 4 core members arrived, full of dreams, laughter, and innocence. They came to serve. They never knew they had walked into the mouth of evil. Sharon was one of them. Beautiful, intelligent, cautious. She trusted her instincts. But her friends, Chucks, Lillian, and Andy, were a little too trusting. A little too friendly, especially with the man who owned their compound. His name was Mr. Adam. He was quiet, watched more than he spoke. And when he smiled, it never quite reached his eyes. The villagers said nothing about him. A landlord with a limp. The man who lived alone. The one who never went to church, but always seemed to know too much. The first to vanish was Chucks. He left to get food one evening and was never seen again. The villagers shrugged. The police yawned. "Where do you live?" the DPO asked. "Mr. Adams' compound." The officer's face changed. You both should leave that house before it's too late." That was all. No questions. No search party. Just silence. 2 weeks later, Lillian disappeared too. She had started sitting with Mr. Adam under the mango tree, drinking palm wine, laughing into the night. One evening, Sharon waited for her to come back. She never did. And the village? Still silent. Only Sharon and Andy remained. And this time, they decided to stop being afraid. They would investigate. Follow Mr. Adam. Look for answers the police wouldn't give. One afternoon, they watched him ride his rickety bicycle toward the village square. And that was their chance. They entered his house. Inside was a graveyard of secrets. Old photos with the eyes scratched out. Symbols drawn in chalk on the walls. A small box filled with hair, bones, jewelry. Lillian's earrings. Chuck's bracelet. Sharon's hand trembled. That's when they heard the door creak. Too late. They woke up in the bush, tied to a tree. Bloodied, weak, alone. And then he came. Mr. Adam. But not as a man. He wore a mask made from animal skin, painted in ash. Eyes hollow. In his hands, a blade carved from bone. "They live here now," he said. "With me." And around them, hanging from the trees, wooden effigies. Each one carved in the likeness of the missing core members. Sharon screamed. Andy fought. But it was no use. The knife plunged into Andy's chest. His blood soaked the ground. And then silence. Sharon felt something crack inside her. She broke free. Through pain, blood, and rage, she fought. She knocked off his mask. He was no longer human. Half his face burned. Eyes black with rot. They struggled. She burned his face with a flaming torch and drove his cursed blade into his heart. Mr. Adams screamed and fell into his own fire. And finally, the forest went still. Fade to morning sound, birds, wind, distant chicken. At dawn, Sharon walked into the village square. Her Nissi shirt soaked in blood, her eyes hollow, her hands trembling. The villagers stared. The DPO met her gaze. "You survived," he whispered. She said nothing. "You killed him, didn't you?" Still silence. He sighed. "You should leave this village, Corper. Evil lives here, and it never dies completely." She survived, but something followed her home.